Do people in Canada have cable, like other people?
We keep this up in the playoffs. I don't care.
And at Chili's. Is it a Chili's? At Kyle's?
Achilles.
Finally.
You don't know that?
Fuck you! Get this guy the fuck out of here!
Alright, well, coming in at number 5, I got Anthony Stolars.
Now! Jets are winning the cup!
Thank you for watching and listening. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the NordCast and NBP. It is Friday, June 13th, 2025. I'm your host here, Nord97, joined with Kata. What are we doing?
Doing great. Canada is still alive to win the Stanley Cup.
Canada is still alive.
Still alive. As much as I was doubting it, we are still here.
Well, I'm pulling for Canada, so I guess that makes me Canadian. I'm also joined here with LeBlanc. LeBlanc, how we doing?
This is oil country, except for Calgary. We
Except for Calgary.
Yeah,
Calgary doesn't want to be involved in that. Nope, they're Panthers fans at heart. Yeah, that's it for Game 4. There will be a Game 6. I got to tell y'all right now, Game 3 was an outlier in terms of just the overall entertainment value. Like, this was a freaking terrific game. Terrific. What did you guys think?
I'll be honest. After the first period, I'm like, damn, I have to turn this off.
Yeah, I saw you text in the chat. You're like, I'm about to really turn off the Cup Final. I was like, yeah, this ain't great.
But it shows the resiliency of Edmonton. How we always knew that they had the firepower to come back, but I thought when they went down 3-0 against Florida in the first, they're done.
Oh, I thought it was over too. I was like, this is it. It's over. And they're like, Carter even texted in the chat too. He's like, this is the series. The series might be done. Nope, we are not done. So yeah, just
hold on. But what did I send after?
You sent the Nordic suit. You sent the Nordic suit of me in the suit, the Jinx.
I'm telling you, man. You think I'm like not? I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually starting to think that me doing all that stuff and jinxing all that is just because I don't know hockey. Maybe because I just have negative puck knowledge. That might be it, honestly. But yeah, this is a phenomenal game. First period recap. Matthew Tkachuk scored 2 goals. Barkov with 2 assists. Reinhart with 2 assists as well in that first period. Lundell got the other one. It's 3-0 Oilers. And we're just like, my God, this is it. Is this the series right here? But we haven't seen a comeback from Edmonton in a little bit. Actually, no. First off, again, I know we said like you might turn it off after the first period, but how did you guys feel about the Oilers in that first frame? And the Panthers, honestly.
I'll be honest, everything came out firing like in the first 2-3 minutes, and then they did what they did last game. They got into penalties. They took stupid penalties again. And they shot themselves in the foot. And that's my take on it.
That's the truth, honestly. They really shot themselves in the foot in that first period. But Carter, again, what were you thinking in that opening period?
I mean, I honestly thought it was not super back and forth, but I felt like at least for the first little bit, Stuart Skinner looked decent. He made a lot of Florida was all over Edmonton in that first period, and all it took was the first penalty from who else but Evander Kane, who we talked about last time, for something to happen, and then it just became all Florida. Now I'm trying to remember, no, that wasn't that. When was the oh my gosh, the Bouchard hit, was that the second period?
That was the second period.
Okay,
we'll get into that.
We'll get into that. But yeah, honestly, I just thought Florida looked like a much better team in that first period. I left when there was 5 minutes left because I had to run upstairs and do something real quick. And I came back down and I saw the scoreboard flash. I'm like, how did it get from 1-0 to 3-0 in 5 minutes?
Yeah, I know. Just it's brutal. Again, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really think that Skinner played that bad in that first period. I just think that the Panthers had him figured out at that point. And that's when the goalie swap came in. So that's what I really thought about that. Obviously, Calvin Pickard comes in And again, that was the right decision. You saw how Pickard played in that second and third period. Again, it took until 2.5 periods for them to basically beat him with 19 seconds left. So again, just phenomenal work there by the Oilers and Chris Knobloch to acknowledge that they have beaten Stuart Skinner. They've figured him out, and now they bring in Pickard and they start their comeback. Nugent Hopkins scored on the power play with a nice freaking shot. My God. And then Darnell Nurse with an even nicer shot. I'm like, what is happening here? The Nurse one shocked me. I'm like, where did that come from? And then Podkolzin on the rebound ties the game up. Just like the way the Oilers just like, I want to go back to Twitter. Urinating Tree posted something saying, can somebody unplug the Oilers and plug them back in? And that's what happened, essentially. They were unplugged, and then they got plugged right back in, and they came back. So how did you guys feel about the Oilers in that period? We'll get to the Bouchard thing, because I do want to talk about that. But the Oilers came back. How did you guys feel about that?
So, I mean, I expected them to come out of the period firing on all cylinders. Like, you think you go down 3-0 in the period, you're going to come out flat, especially in the Stanley Cup Final. I doubt
Exactly.
it. But
Yeah.
I'm glad to see they cleaned up their play. Like, they stopped taking stupid penalties. There was like one power play by Florida that period, but I know they cleaned up their play. They stopped taking stupid penalties. They looked better on the breakout. They looked better in the neutral and looked better in the defensive zone. And and then all those players, I'll be honest, all the players who scored are players who redeemed themselves. Like, you look at Darnell Nurse took that penalty where he committed a hate crime on Barkov in the first period. You didn't see that awful sleuth.
Yeah, that was brutal.
He scored. Podkolzin had a breakdown in last game that he looked pretty good, and then Nuge got the first goal. So they're all players who kind of needed, a little oomph, and they got the oomph. So
yeah, exactly. Carter, what did you think?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of completely agree with that. It's nice to see Hopkins finally get back on the scoreboard. He had no points in his last 4 games before today, so really good for him. And that shot was absolutely lethal. Bob had no idea where it was. Darnell Nurse shot, no one even knew it was in other than Darnell Nurse until he started celebrating like crazy. Everyone's like, wait, is it in? And then we ended up finding out, it was. And then, of course, Podkolzin ties it. But I think that whole thing kind of stems from Sam Bennett on the slash. I mean, Edmonton kind of came out of that pretty hot, and they were testing Bob pretty quickly. So they already had momentum, and as much as Paul Maurice doesn't believe in momentum, I think we just saw that momentum does carry a big factor because Sam Bennett takes a penalty, boom, there goes Florida's chance at rebuilding momentum, and there's literally a double momentum shift for the Edmonton Oilers in the form of a power play and capitalizing on it with a Ryan Nugent-Hopkins goal. I think that just completely shifted everything over to Edmonton.
So, Carter, you said something in Game 3 about making changes to the lineup, and you actually called something that happened. You want to tell us what that was?
Yeah, so I said Troy Stetcher should come into the lineup over John Klingberg, and I'm pretty sure Stetcher got injured or something because he only played for like 5 minutes.
Did he really? Oh, wow.
Yeah,
he might have got hurt.
Yeah, he got hurt. So I'm sorry, Troy Stetcher, but I did call it.
I mean, he wasn't like bad when he played, but I mean, yeah, it's just the only like thing that I had with him, and it really wasn't his fault. He got high sticked from I think it was Verhaeghe, and it was the missed call that forced the Anton Lundell goal. So like that was a missed call there by the refs. Speaking of the refs, holy shit, that Verhaeghe hit on Bouchard. How is that not at least a 2?
So I didn't get to see the hit very well because my TV went Picasso on me, where it just
it's just TV killed himself.
It's just like frozen, but then it's like the picture's moving, but it's like the pixels are like going in a circle, so it's like oh, he got hit. I'm like, I see someone got hit. I don't see how it happened or what or who's hitting who, but yeah. I got to see it on Twitter though, and how is that not a penalty? Like, not even a 2?
Yeah, like, come on. He's basically, I mean, Verhaeghe jumps up and hits him. And that's not even a 2? Are you kidding me right now? Like, that shocked me. Seriously. Like, I've been hearing Oilers all playoffs about how the refs suck. That was fucking awful. And then you call the one on Draisaitl right afterwards. What are we doing, dude?
I'm gonna be honest. In the first period, I thought, oh, I didn't like some of those calls, and then I saw those two. I'm like, wow, this is awful. Like, I hate to run. Oh, they're rigging it for the other team because I hate being that person. But like, it really seemed like they were rigging it for the other team.
Carter, what did you think?
I mean, yeah, that hit was like pretty much in the numbers there. You got to call that. I mean, if you're not going to call like a head contact like type hit because he didn't hit him in the head. It was just how his reaction went that his head kind of hit the boards. If you're not going to call that, that's fine. I understand that. But that's at least a 2-minute boarding call, like for sure.
Yeah, that's something. Like, what are we doing?
It just sucks that Draisaitl had to go down, and then he took a penalty as well, which his was a definite penalty, and of course it happened right in front of the refs there. But I mean, just shit luck there. Like, honest, that's all I can really say to that.
Honestly, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, that's the one where he like tried to get position and he caught him with the elbow. Like, it was like, yeah. Even if you wanted to be like, we made a mistake on the Verhaeghe one, like we should let this go. That's when you can't let go.
Yeah, can't miss that for sure. I agree. In the third period, Jake Wallman scored from Kapanen on just the Panthers looked so slow on that goal. Just like Florida, they had like 4 guys down low on. I think it was it was Nuge, right? Yeah, Nuge, and then they had 5 guys over by Kapanen. I'm like, what the hell? You left Wallman wide open, so of course Wallman's going to roof that. But it was a nice shot as well. Went low glove on Bobrovsky, I believe, and then for the second time in these playoffs, a late overtime forcing goal from Sam Reinhart. The Oilers just kind of let the Panthers kind of control the puck around, and that's why they scored. But I thought that was a damn good third period. What'd y'all think about that third?
I was asleep for
Silence.
10 minutes of it. I'm not gonna lie.
Of course you were.
No, of course.
Actually, I work at 6 a.m. We have break.
Yes. Okay. That's a valid excuse. Carter, what did you think of it?
I mean, I thought that third period was a very good period. Honestly, I think a lot of ups and downs. But I mean, why does every game have to go to overtime when I got to work the next morning? And then on the times where I don't have to work, it's like, oh no, we're gonna make this a 6-1 game. Are you serious?
That was brutal.
Give me the 6-1 game tonight, so like I can be like, well, there's not really much to say. I'm not showing up. But no, it's like a nice close game with a 3-goal comeback, and it's like actually entertaining to watch. You're like, I hate being a hockey fan, but I love it. But I love it so much.
My body craves
very
sleep.
pulverizing.
My body craves sleep. I haven't had a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
Because every time, like you said, every time I work at like 7 a.m., everyone's like, we gotta come on right now. I know we just had double overtime, but we gotta come on right now.
Hey, you were the one that volunteered for that. I don't want to hear about that.
And I take the punishment of me being late by 15 minutes the next day. So,
yes. So there you go. But yeah, they forced overtime. There were a lot of good chances for both teams. Bennett had that one, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, how'd that not go in? Hit the crossbar. Unreal. And then Leon Draisaitl, his 4th overtime winner these playoffs, the most of any player in NHL history, ties the series up. I am so happy that it's a tied series and not a 3-1 Florida lead because I want more hockey, seriously. And I was really glad that after that first period, the Oilers bounced back because otherwise it brutal. So yeah, what'd you guys think about Draisaitl and his OT winner? Honestly,
he tried to pass it. I'm not gonna.
He did. He didn't even mean to do that. I guess you take it, but oh my god, that's brutal. It bounced off of Bob.
I'll take it though, but like I'm so glad I drafted Draisaitl in our playoff pool.
Oh yeah, he's been so clutch, honestly. But yeah, any more thoughts on the game? We'll do our MVPs in just a moment.
I got one last thing I want to say. I heard this on the Sportsnet broadcast. Last game, this kind of makes sense as to why Draisaitl, of course, was going to score the overtime winner. Last game was the first game in, I think, like over 600 NHL games that Leon Draisaitl did not register a shot attempt.
Yeah, he was brutal in Game 3.
That's a crazy stat, like 600 straight games with a shot attempt. And then, of course, he's the guy who gets the overtime winner because it's hockey.
Should have put money on it. That's diabolical. But yeah, Draisaitl with the overtime winner. What is your guys' MVP?
Hang on, I just want to say one thing. I just want to go back to something real quick. Paul Maurice doesn't believe in momentum.
I thought that was his quote. Or was that Brindamore? I thought one of them, some coach that's like here right now said that they didn't believe in like momentum. They're like, momentum doesn't carry from game to game or something. I heard someone say that.
I mean, I get that, but like saying like, oh yeah, momentum's not a thing. Like just blatantly denying it, that's crazy work.
Oh no, I completely agree with that. But it's a Paul Maurice quote. I'm like 90% sure. I don't know. Elliot Friedman said it after a podcast once, and I'm pretty sure he was talking about Paul Maurice or
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't worry. I know. I believe in momentum. Okay.
Yeah, I would hope so because momentum is a thing, and there's no doubt about that. So, yeah, what are your guys' MVPs from this game from each side?
I'll start with the order.
I feel like it might be the goalies, honestly.
I'm actually gonna give it to Draisaitl.
Okay, that's not a bad take. I'm not saying that's bad.
Like,
but yeah, overtime winner.
Way to bounce back.
Makes
3
sense.
points on the night. Just he contributed. He was everywhere tonight, and you could see that. He had a really bad first period, but after that, he bounced back and locked in. I give an honorable mention to Calvin Pickard because came in, and then for Florida, give me I'm gonna say Reinhart.
Okay. Yeah, Reinhart had the game tying goal. He had 3 points tonight as well. That's valid. Carter, what about you?
Oh, jeez. I'll give it to Pickard. I think that he played really well when he had to. Coming in cold against a Florida team is very hard to do. So, definitely was impressed with him. Of course, honorable mention, Leon Draisaitl. And then for Florida, I'm going to go, as much as that Reinhart goal was clutch, I'm going to give it to Matthew Tkachuk. I think he really helped start them out hot. He had their first 2 goals, so very impressed by him. And both those goals were like pretty nice shots as well. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it to Tkachuk.
Sorry. My MVPs. My MVP for Oilers is going to be Draisaitl, overtime winner. Number 2 is obviously Pickard, but shout outs to Kasperi Kapanen and Vasily Podkolzin. They played phenomenal tonight. I noticed them a lot throughout the game. So shout out to those 2 players. For Florida, I got to go with I'm going with Reinhart, as LeBlanc said. Honestly, 3 points on the night. Had the game tying goal. Shout out to Tkachuk, though. He was pretty damn good tonight as well. I thought he really was going to get the hat trick. But one thing we also missed, too, did you guys see the play where Tkachuk had an open shot on the net and Ekholm and Nuge went to block that? Wow. Talk about hockey right there. That was phenomenal.
I was going to mention, Ekholm had a really good game, too.
Yeah, Ekholm played good as well. So, I think, really mostly everybody on the team played pretty good tonight for the Oilers. I didn't see anybody that was bad, especially after the first period. They all locked in from then. All right, so we're going to end it here. After this, we got one more thing I want to talk about. There was a trade. Actually, no, there's a few things we can talk about. There was a trade this past day. The Anaheim Ducks acquired Chris Kreider on full salary from the New York Rangers, along with a 4th-round pick, which is 104th overall, in exchange for Carey Terrance and a 2025 3rd-round pick, which is 89th overall. Wow. Chris Drury getting away with all this shit. Gets rid of Trouba and then gets rid of Kreider, Goudreau. This man knows how to get rid of the big prospects. Unreal stuff. So, what are your guys' thoughts on this deal before I get into my stuff?
Prospect, then I don't know.
Yeah, I was about to say
Why does Kreider is-
big time prospects. I didn't know they were getting older. Jeez.
Sorry, I'm so tired. What is your guys' thoughts on this trade?
First of all, I swear to you, they're in cahoots. Like there's some deal going on that the Rangers just dump all their big contracts on the Ducks and Verbeek gets someone on the side. It has to be because every time Verbeek trades with the Rangers end up. I'll be honest, they get the better end of the deal. Now I get shaking up Kreider. I get moving him out. It took him a while. I think it took him a while to waive his no trade clause to go to Anaheim, which is
It did. It took him a couple of days.
Understandable. But I feel.
But again, there's a lot of Rangers there. Frank Vetrano, Ryan Strome, Jacob Trouba, like freaking Anaheim Rangers over there. Just unreal stuff. Yeah. Carter, what do you think about this?
I think it's a great move for the Rangers. It's a good cap dump, and I'm also pretty sure that 4th round pick is Anaheim's. So they literally that they got in the Trouba trade. So they just sent it right back.
Really? Oh, was it?
I'm 90% sure.
So that'll be it for this episode of the NordCast. LeBlanc had to leave. He had internet problems. Thank you all so much for watching and tuning in to the Game 4 recap. Carter, any final thoughts?
Connor Hellebuck is an absolute stud, Vezina winner, Hart winner. He is the greatest goalie in American history.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about before LeBlanc just cut out. So whatever.
Tragic.
I guess we won't talk about it. And yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in. We greatly appreciate it. We'll be back on Sunday for Game 5. See you in the next one. Ciao. Thank you guys so much for watching or listening to yet again another episode of the NordCast. If you enjoyed, please subscribe down below or follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you want to follow us on TikTok, we are at NordCast. If you want to follow us on Instagram or Twitter, follow at NordCast_. That'll do it for this episode. I'm Nordic. Thanks for listening from all the crew, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.